What if I told you there was a simple way to track every dollar, manage your budget, and even plan for future dreams all in one place? Stick around to see how our financial planner can transform your financial life. If you are a busy mom and you are overwhelmed by bills and expenses and you're just tired of managing it all and you're looking for a simple way, this planner can turn all of your money stress into money success. I've designed it and used it and tracked my finances religiously in Notion this past year, and it is by far the best system that I've ever used to track our family's budget. Hi, my name is Kate. Welcome if you're new here. This channel is all about supporting moms to live a more intentional, peaceful, joyful life with a focus on Jesus. So if that is your thing, stick around. I'd love to have you subscribe and join the community. Today, we're going to be doing a little tour, a little walkthrough, if you will, of the financial planner that is within the Ultimate Mom Brain template. I have spent literally hours and hours creating this, perfecting it, making it perfect for my brain and hopefully perfect for you as well. I'm going to leave it linked down below, but without further ado, we're going to dive right in. If you don't know what Notion is, it is a productivity and planning tool that is completely customizable. You can make it super pretty, you can make it fun, you can access it from your phone, and it's just the most phenomenal app that I've ever used. So if you've never used it before, I encourage you to download it, take a look through it. There's tons of free templates, but you can customize this thing. You can add formulas. It's basically a system of databases. You can relate the databases together. So kind of think of like Excel spreadsheets on steroids. It is an amazing tool. My Ultimate Mom Brain literally keeps my entire life planned. That's multiple businesses, my family, my kids, everything that I need to do, travel, like literally it's all in there. But today is all about the financial planner. So without further ado, let's dive in. All right, I'm super excited to walk you through. So down here in our Ultimate Mom Brain template, we are going to scroll down here and open up the finance template. Okay, so once we are in our finance dashboard, we are going to quickly look here. This is our at a glance page. I've put in some sample numbers just so you see how the template works. So at a glance, we have this navigation page where you can look at things all in detail. And we're going to head to the setup page, which is the first place you will head to when you get this template. But here's our at a glance page. So we're going to see our account overview. So it's going to tell us our current balance in all of our accounts. Then we have a finance stat overview. So it's going to tell us our total in checking, cash, savings, investments, debt, and then our net worth based off those numbers. It's going to give us an at a glance view of this month, what we set our budget to, how much we've spent, what we have left to spend, and our ending balance. It's going to give us a year overview and also a quarter overview, which is not set up yet, but I will show you guys that in a second. So transactions, this is a quick button transaction. So if you just hit any of these buttons, a little page is going to pop up where you can record your income, your expense, or a transfer. And this is handy at the top because when you open it on your phone, you can track things if you're out and about. Next, we have this budget section, and this is detailed, so it's hidden within a little toggle here. What makes this template so awesome, I think, is this budgeting section. So there's two ways that we're kind of tracking your budget to tweak things to know exactly where every dollar is going to be completely organized with your finances. This is how you're going to save money. This is how you're going to pay off debt. This is how you're going to keep track of it all. So we have their actual monthly income budget. So this is where we actually set percentages. And as our income is recorded, this is going to formulate what exactly that is. So for example, I set my housing budget of 20%. So of the income I've recorded here, $1,700 of that is going to my housing budget, which is 20% of my total income. And then as I record expenses, it's going to tell me what I've spent so far, the percentage of that is, and what I have left to spend. So it's going to do this in all of the areas of the budget that I set up. Now, we also have savings. I'm going to move me here for a second. We also have savings and debt in this area. So I have set up 10% of my total income to go towards savings. So that is $850. We've saved $500 so far, which is 59%. I've got $350 left to save. Same with that. I've set up 2% of my overall budget to go to debt. That's $170. I've already paid $160 of that, 94%. And there's only $10 left to save. Now, over here, we have our estimated budget by category. Now, this is super handy if one, your income fluctuates from month to month, and two, if you are new to budgeting, you may not necessarily need to use this as you go on. I still like to use both and like to tweak things, especially when things are changing, like travel. You can see I've got travel, different things down here. I like to really use both. It also helps me when I'm trying to set monthly income goals and whatnot. So you are actually going to input these numbers here, and it's going to tell you what you've spent, what you have left remaining to spend, which is, and the percentage of what that is. It's going to tell you your budget is exceeded. So you've spent too much on entertainment this month, for example. So this will make a little bit more sense once we actually get into the setup page. I'll show you how it all works. Next, we have this income page, quick button to record income, or you can just hit new page here. And you are just going to record all of the income that comes in. So here are some sample incomes, sample amounts, transaction dates. You're going to link it to that month. Once you link it to the month, it's going to show you your overall budget up here for the month, just at a glance view. Same with the quarter. And then you are going to link it to a source. So when in our setup page, we're going to set up sources where all your income comes from. So I've given us the income source of commission, salary, and husband salary. And in this area, we can actually set monthly income goals and track how close we get to that goals. This is great if you work by commission or you've got some sort of side hustle, you're trying to increase your income. This is a super helpful place to track that. So you will link the source that it comes from and then link the account that it's actually deposited to. Next, we have expenses. Again, hit the button here or just hit new page and record all your expenses. On this finance stash, everything is just for the month. So if you want to see detailed things for past months, you're going to go up to the top in that navigation tab and view that. But anything here is filtered. So if you want to see how that works, these three little lines here is the filter. So I've got the filter of transaction date. Open it up is relative to today, and it's only this month. So if you wanted to see 2 months at a time or something, you could do that as well. Click the filter button here, and that will be hidden. So again, same as with recording income, you're going to have your amount, what you paid it with, transaction date, your month, your quarter, and then your status. So there is unpaid and paid here. If it's unpaid, it's something like you've got something coming up that you know you have to pay for, but you want to get it in your budget, but it's not quite paid yet. You can track that here. I use this actually for employees. I have 2 employees, so plan out their pay in advance. And when payday comes, I just switch it over to paid, and then it comes out as a debit out of my accounts, and all the numbers are then reflective. And then you're tagging your expense category in your budget. Next, we have this recurring costs area, and this area is super helpful because first of all, it's broken into subscriptions and bills. Subscriptions are often things you can cut if you're trying to save money. So I like to separate the two. We've got the example of Netflix here. What's the monthly cost of that? When did you last pay it? It is a monthly payment. When is it next due? And then you actually have these little pay now buttons, and it will tell you that it's paid for the current period and the next payment is in 27 days. The formula to do all of this is very complicated. I actually had purchased another template to help me with my budgeting that I've been using for the past little while. And this formula was inspired by that. I loved the way this was set up in that template. So you'll actually see if I change this last payment to October 17th, it's actually going to tell me it's overdue, and I can hit pay now. And when I hit pay now, this new recurring payment is going to pop up. I can add in that payment, $20. I can put in the account I paid it with, the transaction date. The status will be paid. You're going to add your month and your quarter, and then you're going to see here, it automatically tags your expense category for subscriptions and bills and what subscription it is. So because you're paying it directly from the button in the recurring cost payment area, it's going to tag these two things automatically. So when you do that, again, it's going to say paid for current period, next payment is in 27 days. It also super helpful because it tells you your yearly cost of that subscription. Again, if you're trying to save money, that would be a great place to look at all your subscriptions and what you can cut. Same with bills. Monthly payment. This is the example of our electric bill. It said I paid for current period. Next payment is in 11 days. Same, all that information. Here's my yearly cost and everything. Next, we have transfers. So you're going to record all of your transfers, and there's different types of transfers. So credit card payments, savings transfer, a return, you're getting money transferred back to you, but you're not really tracking it from one of your accounts. So I have this as a transfer. Interest earned, if you're doing investments or savings accounts with interest. Account transfer, you're just transferring between accounts. Cash withdrawal transfers, and then mortgage payments as well. I prefer to put mortgage payments and any like student loan debt or anything that you may have as transfers and set them up as accounts rather than putting them as expenses, if that makes sense. So those are your options there. Again, you're going to put your transfer amount, your transfer date, tag it to the month and the quarter, and then what account it transferred from, what account it transferred to, and editing Kate popping in to remind you to link savings and debt transfers in order that it reflects in your budget. And it is going to give you a little summary here. If we scroll down, then we have a view of all our accounts. So here under checking cash, you can see my current balance in all of them. You can see over here under savings and investments, my current balance. And I also have a goal and how far I am at reaching that goal. So here you can see I've doubled that goal. So I'm 200%. And here you can see I've made 30% of the goal of putting $5,000 in this savings account. You also have credit cards and debts. And here you're seeing that mortgage account, and here you're seeing a credit card. So any credit cards, and debts are going to go down here. Now, this is how the basic template works, how you can track everything, how you can stay organized. Seriously, I have been using Notion to track my finances this last year, and it's been super life-changing for me. So let's go back here to the navigation page. And remember, this main page is called your finance dash. Well, this is where you're going to come first. So I've already inputted some numbers, some sample accounts here. The video would be way too long if I did this all on video for you. So you can see joint account, checking account, savings, credit card, mortgage, investment. So you're going to put all your accounts, what your starting balance, what your balance is today in each of those accounts, what type of account it is, what bank it's with, and then if you want to add a goal target, which is mainly for savings, and wish list, which I didn't get to on the first page. I'll show you that in a second. So a wish list, I actually set a wish list up as an account. So say you're saving for a specific big ticket item or a travel vacation or something like that, and you're tracking that money separately. Maybe you're doing a cash saving system or whatnot. I use a bank that allows me as many savings accounts as I want. So I just set them up, my wish list items as actual accounts, but I know everybody's bank doesn't work that way. Maybe you're saving in cash or something. So there is the wish list item, which is basically like a unofficial account. When you're saving towards a big ticket item, you can set that up that way. So you can track your progress, set a goal target and whatnot. So after you've inputted all your accounts, your starting balance, your type, all of this information here, step 2 is going to be linking your accounts. As you add pages here, they are automatically going to be linked here. So just go back and double check that all the accounts you've added are here. When you input this, you're going to want to delete, obviously. You just go to this little box here beside account name. It's going to select all of them and then go to the little garbage bin, and it's going to delete all of them, and you want to put in your own information. So once you link all the accounts, you then have to go to each of these accounts here and link what type of account. So link all your cash accounts. Obviously, that would just be one. Link your cash, link all the checking accounts you have, link any debt accounts you have, link your investments, link your savings. That is how this finance stats is populated. So at a glance, you can see total cash I have is $400 on hand, $6,990 in my checking on hand. I have $1,500 total in savings. I have $20,000 in investments. I have a total debt of $9,360, and that's going to give me my net worth here. So this finance stats box is not going to work unless you have linked these all up correctly. So make sure you do that. Next, this is the budget split area. So when you set this up, you just want to make sure that all of these numbers here sum 100%, because obviously if they don't sum 100%, it's going to tell you to spend money that you don't have. I also have a business category here, which is unlinked at the moment. This is really only if I'm tagging business income or expenses for the business portion of this planner. So that may or may not apply to you. And then I have travel. So if I have a month where I'm traveling and I need to adjust my budget, I will say maybe change my entertainment budget and split that into my travel budget so it still equals 100%. But travel is not something I do monthly and need to budget for monthly. So that is how that works there. So next we're going over here, and this is our expense type. So as you can see, I have all of the same expense types and all of the same budget items, but you can actually use this in a couple different ways. And this is going to be your personality, your organization style, but you can say, set up, I've given you an example here. You can set up an entertainment budget category over here, but you can link several different expense types to that budget category. So for example, if you were doing entertainment, but you wanted to track separately dining out, sports memberships, clubs fees under entertainment, you could do that as well. So you can link as many of these expense types to one different category. Another popular way to do this is 50% of your total budget should be going towards needs. So you could pick out of all of these expense types, what are needs, then 30% towards wants. So entertainment, gifts, those are more want type things. And then 20% to savings and debt. So you would match those up accordingly. For me, I like to budget on a micro level. So I have my expense type directly connected to my budget category. So I've put in some common things. You may have different things that you need to track. You just want to do that by adding new page, and you can delete the ones that I already have. But what's important is make sure you link your expense types to your budget categories, either directly or into the needs, wants, savings, debt way, or into multiple expense types to the category of entertainment, and multiple expense types to the category of medical. So you want to track dental and medical and insurance and track that separately, but all under the medical branch. Next, you're gonna want to add your income sources. So like I showed you, I have salary, husband salary, and commission here. I set a monthly income goal for each of them. And as you hit new page and set your monthly income goal, they are going to automatically populate to the budget categories. And that is important because that's how you know exactly where each of your dollars are going and how much you have to spend based off your percentages here. So make sure your income sources are linked to your budget categories. Then we go to the recurring costs area. So type in all your recurring costs, all your monthly bills. Some things might be yearly, or maybe you pay something monthly. I don't know how it works for you, but you can set your frequency, set the type, and then set the start date here. Then you're going to add your year. We already have 2024 and 2025, but if you can just keep using this template to track everything. So when it's time to add 2026, you can do that. And then just make sure your monthly reports for each of those years which we'll do in the next step, are linked to that current year. So once you add your months, we've got October, November, December, and January 2025 already here for you with the start and end date. Link it to your year. Once you link it to your year down here, it's automatically going to populate over here because these databases are connected. I set my budgets here for each month, and then it's telling me the budget graph. I don't have any income or expenses set up with these months. I've only done November for a sample for you. Then you're going to add the quarters. So here, Q4, I'm just going to tag it Q4. So Q4 started October 1st. And then your end date is, your end date is December 31st. This will keep track of income, expenses, and transfers quarterly, so you can see that info at a glance on your finance dashboard. Next, we have these three databases, your income log, expense log, and transfer log. You don't actually need to do anything with that here. They're just here to show you all the ways the databases work together. So once you've gone to this setup page, this is your first step. You're going to head back in your navigation bar here to your finance dash. Okay, so we are back here in our finance dash. So I hadn't set that quarterly overview up correctly, but now you can see it is set up correctly. So it's giving me my at a glance information here for my quarter. So you can set up to see all 4 quarters here if you want. Again, just using your filters. You can either drag these columns over so these 3 little bars pop up, or you can just go to these 3 dots here and this menu will pop up and you can access the filter from there. So I have filtered it to only Q4. That's how I tagged it with these little buttons. But if you want to see all the quarters so you can see how you're doing quarter over quarter, you can have that here as well. Same if you wanted to see more months at a time on your main page, you could add that there as well. But if you want to get more detailed, you're going to go into each of these pages. So this is just all of your accounts that you have in here. This is the main database. So you do not want to delete any of these main database pages. So this is just telling me all of the accounts that I have set up. Same with transactions. It's going to tell me all income. So again, that main finance dash is set up and filtered just so you're working on that current month. But if you want to see all your income, you can see here, I've got an October one, all the rest are November's, but you can see all of your detailed income. Any income that you've ever tracked is going to be in here. Any expenses that you've ever tracked are going to be in here, and any transfers you've ever done are going to be in here. So say your books aren't balancing, it's a great place to come and just say, go back through your online banking, look at this and cross-reference and be like, okay, obviously I'm missing something somewhere. Same thing here. This is just another way to view your budget split categories here, so on and so forth. So all of the databases are going to be able to be viewed on their own individual page. I actually really don't use this often, except for when I'm looking at monthly reports or quarterly reports or yearly reports. So on that main page, I only see that 1 month, but here I've got October, November, December, and January set up. So if I wanted to track, my budget, my overall income, and I wanted to see all that information side by side, I would come to the monthly report section to do that. If you open any of your months, this page is going to pop up, and down here, if you scroll down, you will see all of the income, expenses, and transfers related to that month. If you happen to see income, expenses, or transfers from a different month, you just double check your filters. But it is filtered to see this month only. And as you set up new months, it should all work out perfectly for you. So same as monthly reports, if you want to see your quarters side by side and your years side by side, you can do that as well. So I am actually just going to show you the wish list here. The coolest thing about Notion and what makes it fun to use, honestly, for me, is that you can completely customize it. So I am actually going to duplicate this debts here, pull this down, and I'm going to make this little section a wish list section. Now a wish list is technically set up as a savings. I'm actually going to take this and I am going to copy the link. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to paste the link and then select linked database view, and it's going to give me this exact same thing. If I hit this, I'm going to rename this to wish list. And then I'm going to go over to my filter, and it's going to, right now it's filtered by savings accounts and investments. So I'm going to uncheck those, and I'm going to check wish list. So this is where you would put any wish list items, and it's going to track all that information as well. So hopefully that makes sense. You can move things around. You can do whatever you want to make it work for your brain, which is the most phenomenal part about Notion. You are not limited in any way. You can change your cover here. If you wanted to add a fun picture or gradient, there's a ton within their own gallery, or there's Unsplash galleries. You can upload your own custom one, but I'm just going to leave it like that. You can also change your icon here. There's a whole bunch within Notion, either emojis or actual icons, or you can upload one. So I've uploaded a little GIF, which is how I got this little hanging plant here. I also love this comment section. So if you are working with your husband, for example, and he's tracking things, or you're using this finance dashboard for a business team or something, you can just add little comments here. I like to use this personally, even when I'm just saying, okay, last updated November 17th. So I know, okay, I last updated this November 17th. So any income, any expenses, any transfers made after November 17th are not put in this planner. So I just like to use the little comment section for that. If my husband adds things, he can say, oh, I added expenses on the 15th of the month, and he can just leave me a little note here. So I hope you find this helpful. Honestly, with this Notion template, you can have your entire budget set up in just a matter of minutes. You can get organized, especially if that is one of your goals for 2025. I highly encourage you to get this template. You get the entire template for $19.97, I think it is right now. That is our launch price for this template. Some of these finance dashboards go for a lot of money, but I'm happy to give it all to you at just a little cost. You can leave comments below, ask me any questions that you may have, but I hope you found this helpful. I'll be walking through the vision and goal setting section of the planner and also the projects section of the planner next. So watch for that video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.